Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amirul Hakim bin Muhammad Sabri. Today I am with my groupmate Muhammad Fadil will explain about Faraid, cause of inheritance. Okay, first thing first, what is Faraid? Faraid, or the law of inheritance in Islam, is also known as Ilmu Faraid. It's a science dealing with the law of pertaining to the devotional act based on the Sharia in respect of the wealth of a person after the certainty of his or her death, or on the assumption of his or her death. Faraid is a section of the Islamic law that deals with the distribution of the estate of a deceased person among his heirs in accordance with Allah's decree in the Holy Quran and according to the hadith or tradition of the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him. As I mentioned earlier on the previous slide, Faraid is based on two sources, which is first the Al-Quran and secondly the hadith. Next, the order of sequence of right on the estate. Firstly, to discharge all his obligation relating to zakat, various kafara or penalty for us, sihar, caution while fasting in the month of Ramadan, caution while in the state of ihram during haji or umrah. Second, to pay for his funeral expenses. Third, to settle all his debt to his fellow beings. The settlement of such debt shall include the performance of the haji on his behalf if he has not already done to his lifetime, and the payment of mahar if payment had not already been made. If the deceased died estate, the settlement of all his debt must precede the disposal of his estate that is spelled out in his testament. Fourth, to execute his will. A will is not for a person else. The amount of estate provided for in a will for disposal shall not exceed 1/3 of the remaining estate after the settlement of 1 until 3 things above. The last one, fifth, to distribute the remaining estate among his heirs after the settlement of 1 to 4 things above.
The Quranic heirs were divided into three, which is relation by affinity, blood relation, and Baitumal. First, relation by affinity was includes husband and wife. If the deceased by the child, the husband would be entitled to 1/4 of the share of the estate. Otherwise, he would be entitled to 1/2. In the case of the wife, if the deceased husband leave the child, she would be entitled to 1/8 of the share of the estate. Where there is more than one wife, the wife will share the 1/8 among them. If there are no children, the widow will inherit 1/4 of the estate. Next, blood relations. Blood relations subdivided into ascendants, female descendants, and collateral relations. And the anatic asabah, also one of the part in the blood relations, inherit the whole estates when they are the only heir, but in the presence of the other heir who do not exclude them, they receive the residue. When they are the only heir, they are given 1/2 or 2/3 of their estate, but in the presence of some specific heir, they share the residue with those specific heir. In other words, there are three categories of residuaries. First is the female relations in their own right. Second is the female in relation in the right of another. And thirdly is the female relation with another one. Lastly, Baitumal. Baitumal is the body of institution that functions as a trustee of Muslim. It looks after asset from which member of the Muslim can benefit. In Malaysia, the Jabatan Agama Islam administer the Baitumal. The estate of a deceased person goes to the Baitumal under the following circumstances.